Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, episode 54. It's Captain Anti-Proton. I'm Nikodas.
I'm Grebog. Still.
And his delay there was flabbergasted at my introduction, so there you go.
Except I knew it was coming, so you know.
So for those who don't know, Captain Proton was a fictional character within the series Star Trek Voyager. It was one of Tom Paris's holodeck programs, where he, of course, played the titular character. I couldn't think of anything better to use for Anti-Proton, so that's what you're stuck with.
I guess a good way to think of like Captain Proton was very much, if you don't have a clue, Flash Gordon style stuff. If you have no clue about Flash Gordon, I'm sorry, I'm really old, and I actually know what that means.
Flash. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to scare our guys away by singing.
Well, we don't also want the DMC takedown notice and all that, you know, so.
That's true. Good point. All right, so first and foremost, we want to apologize for last week. We had some bad information at the end of our PvP anniversary episode. We told you guys that we were going to be doing the Summer of Love event for AIE. We were a little early there, so that actually is not going to take place until August 2nd. And unfortunately, I will not be around for that episode, so Grebog will be flying solo there that night.
If I remember the calendar event, though, I think it's the following week. I'd have to look at the scheduling. If you want to know more details, go to aie-guild.org. They will put the calendar up there for you to keep track of. It will have all the other game events and all the memorials, and processions and stuff like that we do. So definitely, if you're going to take part, definitely look into that there. It's more accurate than my memory.
You do not have to be a member of AIE to partake. However, you will miss out on the in-game chats and possibly the Discord chats if you are not. But if you just wanted to tag along for the procession, you are welcome to do so. All right, so this week in STO, we are still seeing the resurgence of the Gamma Recruit event, as Grebog is calling the second wave. This runs. Wait a minute. It is still ongoing, right? I'm not giving bad information again, am I?
It's going till July 22nd, which means you have 3 more days. If you haven't created them, you need to create them soon. You don't have to level them all the way up, but you have to get through the tutorial to pick up the little Jem'Hadar communicator that will allow you to get the rewards. It doesn't take long. I created a science officer the other day since I realized I didn't have one from Jem'Hadar, so I did that, and it took me probably 30 minutes. I mean, you know, not too bad, really.
So yeah, get that done if you can. Once you have unlocked that, as Grebog was saying, that is a forever thing. So you do not have to, complete all the achievements. You do not have to level the character. You just have to get the Dominion transponder and have the game acknowledge that you are a Gamma recruit, and then you're done. And then at your leisure, if it takes you 10 years, that's fine. At your leisure, you can accomplish all the requirements and get the in-game rewards. So, moving right along. Grebog, you want to take that next one there?
Sure. Admiralty bonus week. You have until July 22nd. It's already started. Make sure to do your Admiralty missions. If you don't know where to start that up, it is under your mini-map. It's pretty much right in the middle with the 3 little people icon. You click that to get into your, basically your bridge, your duty officer stuff and your Admiralty. As you can see, I am a slacker and mine's completely empty. But if it's definitely worth taking part and doing the rewards. You get extra lithium, you get extra experience, stuff like that. Definitely worth it.
And then we are still in the midst of our summer event in STO, Return to Ryza. This lasts until July 31st. There's a lot of stuff you can get from this. There's swimsuits and costumes. There's kit frames and kit modules. There's books to train your bridge officers. There's some vanity shields. The pets, lots and lots of pets you can pick up if you like collecting the non-combat pets. There's something like 7 different birds and 6 different monkeys, or so. And you do not have to complete the event to get those. You can earn those day to day, or however long you want to spend on it. If you want to spend 20 days, which we don't actually have 20 days left, so you haven't started this now, you're not going to complete it. However, you can still get yourself a big discount if you wanted the event ship, which I can show on screen here. Events, summer. Well, it didn't give me the big picture like it normally does. Oh, there we go. So that's the event ship right there, the Tier 6 Ryzian cruiser. So there you go. I don't think I missed anything there, did I, this week in STO?
No.
We're good, right? All right.
On to the primary target.
Correct. Go ahead.
So, as we hinted at with the title, today we're talking about Anti-Proton. I apparently lost my captain with Anti-Proton stuff, so, yeah. Well, that's why I have Nikodas' screen as the main screen, so you can kind of look at what he's got going on. But to start looking for some of the items, if you want to do an Anti-Proton build, we're going to start with the episodes. There is one in the Solanea Dyson Sphere of Influence. The Sphere of Influence is the mission where you will get an Obelisk Subspace Rift Warp Core. Let me see if I can pull this. Do you have that on you right now to highlight?
I do. It's right here.
Awesome. So it's the Sphere of Influence is the first mission, so it's not like you even have to do much to get to it. So you just have to be able to do it. There is this ancient weapon? You can also, it also has the ancient Omni-Directional Antiproton Beam Array. Though here it just says it's an ancient Omni-Directional Beam Array. It does do anti-proton damage, so, and it's part of a set.
That's my bad. I typed that out wrong.
It's fine. I kind of question whether it was or was not an anti-proton. But if you repeat this mission, if you need beam arrays, you can also see that the standard anti-proton beam array there is accessible too as a reward. But these top 2 are the ones that we are looking at for the set. And the 2-piece bonus gets you plus 10% anti-proton damage. So
I am using that set right now. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to kick that out for the more meta warp core to get the 2-piece set from the Discovery, but we'll discuss that here a little bit more in detail. But this is the set I'm using right now. That is the only episode at the moment that rewards set items that boost anti-proton damage. So
all the reputation stuff.
Yeah, there's several reputations that you can use for anti-proton. The first one here, which is this console. In the Nukara reputation, there is a 3-piece set. The first piece at Tier 1 is the Nukara Particle Generator Universal Console, which I have highlighted right now. At Tier 2, you can get the Nukara Web Mine Launcher, which I'm also using right now. And then at Tier 6, you can get the Refracting Anti-Proton Beam Bank. I do not have that yet. My reputation, unfortunately, is not that high in Nukara. It's at Tier 4. But from what I was looking at, that's a pretty good dual beam bank there, so probably worth picking up at some point. The 2-piece set bonus adds 9.5% anti-proton damage, and the 3-piece set upgrades your Hyper-Dual Refracting beam bank that I was just talking about, so that any firing mode you use hits additional targets. So like if you use beam overload, it will actually split and hit another target, which of course would increase your DPS and help take down those enemies all that much faster. And that's it for Nukara.
Something to note about the Nukara particle converter, I know there are other builds out there that use it, so it's not a terrible one to pick up just for exotic particle builds, I believe.
Yes, it improves exotic damage, yes. You can go ahead. You want to go every other? So you can do Delta, and then I'll do Iconian, and so on and so forth. So go ahead.
So the Delta Alliance is who we have next. At Tier 1, unlocks the console Universal Bioneural Gel Pack, which
I do not have equipped, so
I might. Do I have that equipped? I know I have that. But I don't. Nope. But as you can see, it's one of the consoles that is pretty good for more than just Anti-Proton. It's just we're going for the set bonus here because it gives power to all subsystem starship shield capacity and cooldown reduction to bridge officers, which is an awesome thing in general. And then with that, you can get the Neutronic Torpedo Launcher, which I believe is just right there, which is just a kinetic weapon. You're going here for the set bonuses. With the 3rd piece, you need to get the Advanced Thoron Infused Dual Heavy Cannons. And so to get the Torpedo Launcher, that's Tier 2. Tier 6 is where the Thoron Infused Dual Heavy Cannons... if I can speak today. What's up with me? Obviously, there is a Polaron version, but you're looking for the Anti-Proton version for that juicy Anti-Proton damage. But the 2-piece set bonus gives you 13.8% radiation damage and lowers cooldown on Neutronic Torpedo. And then the 3-piece adds activated power isokinetic cannon. Which, is there a way I can... I don't have any of these on me, so...
Yeah, my Delta Alliance rep is not high enough, so unfortunately I don't have any of those to show off. I've been trying to pull them up, but I haven't even unlocked the dual heavy cannons to show you, so unfortunately I can't highlight that one.
All right, so this brings us to
in the Iconian. Yeah, over here in the Iconian Resistance, at Tier 1, there's a Sustained Radiant Field Universal Console right here. Now, this one is interesting. This is a set that I am definitely interested in once I get more marks. This console gives you a flat bonus to outgoing hull heals, weapon damage, and this is all weapon damage, and to shield heals. So, kind of a neat looking console there. And then at Tier 2, you unlock a torpedo. This is the Radiant Quantum Torpedo Launcher. Again, it's a kinetic damage torpedo. This one's on an 8-second cooldown, which is fairly average. And then the proc on this gives you temporary hit points, so it's kind of a survival boost. Not the greatest torpedo out there, but it's not the worst either. So especially if you're looking for this set bonus. And then this is another one that has a beam array or dual heavy cannons that you can pick up. That would be at Tier 4. It's the Advanced Radiant Anti-Proton Beam Bank or Advanced Radiant Anti-Proton Dual Heavy Cannons. The 2-piece set adds a flat bonus to Starship Hull and adds additional temporary hit points to the weapon procs. So like you just saw there on the torpedo, you can gain 1,000 temporary hit points. This would boost it to, I think, 1,250 temporary hit points. So again, gives you a boost on that survival. Now in the at tier 4 here in the Iconian Resistance, you also unlock the Radiant Anti-Proton weapons. These will be in the store down here. And you'll get, like right now I've got a lot of the ground stuff unlocked. At tier 4, you unlock the space versions of these weapons. And again, they give you a proc that adds temporary hit points. Alright, and that's it for Iconian Resistance.
Alrighty. So, that brings us to the Temporal Defense Initiative. So at tier 1, you can pick up the Chronoton Drive Actuator. It is just a standard console. Gives you weapon power settings, shield power settings, starship control, and shield capacity. This you can get at tier 1. Tier 2, you can get the Torpedo Launcher, which is right below here. Again, it's just a torpedo launcher that does kinetic damage, but you're going again for the set bonus for this. Once you get to tier 4 of the reputation, you can pick up one of the you want to make sure you pick up the Chronoton beam array or heavy cannons. There is also a Polaron version. The Chronoton ones are the Anti-Proton, so that will get you your Anti-Proton damage. At the 2-piece set, adds a 8.9% directed energy damage and 5% crit severity. 3-piece gives an activated ability to increase armor and shield pen. And once you get to the tier 4, you get in the store, you can pop up, and you have a you can go into like the beam arrays or beam banks and find all of the Chronoton weapons and deck out your ship that way as well. Or, cannons, dual cannons, dual heavy cannons, turrets, it's all in here.
All right, so for the competitive rep, now this is one of the few times that we actually go into the competitive rep more than just getting the impulse engines. They have a set here for Anti-Proton that's pretty cool. At tier 1, let me back up here and find it. There it is. At tier 1, you can get the Covert Munition Deployment Console. This console adds to quantum projectile damage, starship stealth, and control expertise. At tier 2, you can pick up the Mine Launcher. Lost my notes here. The Modulating Competitive Mine Launcher. These creates 4 quantum mines behind you for kinetic damage, and the damage scales up over time. At tier 3, you can get those competitive impulse engines we were talking about. And then at tier 6, so this is the alternate damage type from the tier 4 ones, but you can get an Omni-Directional Anti-Proton Support Beam Array or Anti-Proton Heavy Support Turret. The 2-piece bonus adds a stealth bonus dependent on your throttle speed, or if you put your throttle to 0, it will cloak you after a 3-second delay. And then the 3-piece bonus adds 33% quantum projectile damage and 33 damage resistance to torpedoes and mines. It also adds an active ability to have your mines follow a target, so they'll actually fly around and approach the target and kaboom on contact. It kind of turns them into a slightly slower torpedo, I guess.
You can do the Galaxy Quest thing.
Yes, that. Forgot about that.
I'm dragging mines. Or, you failed to realize I'm dragging mines.
Kaboom. Yeah, that. And that's going to be it for the reputations.
Crafting. You can always make an omnidirectional, like you can see in here, where you can pull up an Anti-Proton. It's in alphabetical order, so it's going to be on top, and you can just make yourself an Anti-Proton beam. Now, this is also where you go when you want to make the consoles, because it'll be, if you're doing a beam console, technically it can be here as well. You can do one that just, you can pick up the Anti-Proton mag regulator here, though you can also make one that just, I think does, yeah, directed energy distribution manifold. I would not recommend that. Just go with the plus Anti-Proton mag regulator. That is what you want. If you don't have your beam R&D up and you are wanting those, and you have maybe your cannon R&D up, there you can build that mag also from the the cannon side. So
I did not know that. Good to know.
Yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting. If you can make a weapon for whatever, plasma, anti-proton, what you can make the console for that weapon. Well, for the weapons too. It doesn't matter if it's cannon or beams. They both allow you to make the like this time the anti-proton mag regulator. So I think at one time they required you to do one and it wasn't in the other, and people was like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm a cannon build. I did all my R&D on cannons, and I can't make those. So yeah.
During my research for this episode, I did look through the Zen store to see what ships were available in there and if there were any special consoles there. I could not find anything that was specific to Anti-Proton, so I do not have any Zen store purchases to suggest for this build. In the Lobby store, however, there are a few consoles, and these I actually have. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Phoenix ones, so Grebog will go after that. But in the Lobby store, for 200 Lobby each, there are some universal consoles. These are good on almost any build. We've mentioned them in every show that we've done for energy types. There's a bioneural infusion circuits, a tachyokinetic converter, and a interphase quantum distributor, which goes along with the Delphic distortion torpedo for a 2-piece set bonus.
There's also some Baul weapons in the Lobby store that are anti-proton, so they are also 200 Lobby each, and they look like they have a set as well.
Did I miss the Lobby set? I missed the Lobby set. That is my bad. So I am using the Baul weapons, but I'm using the ones that are from the lockbox without the set bonus. So, Lobby store, check it out.
And there is, this looks like it's a console. It doesn't say it's a console, but Baul linked sentry coordination. I can't. Matrix. It does anti-proton damage increase, hull capacity increase, and it is part of the set. Definitely worth thinking about. You could at the very least pick this console up because it is a nice console to have. It looks like if you're doing an anti-proton build, because that extra anti-proton damage. I don't know how. Okay, so the set. Let's see. 2-piece gives 100 bonus damage. That's definitely worth it. Doesn't look like it increases any. Oh no, 50%. If you go to the 3-piece set, 50% bonus anti-proton damage for 30 seconds. It looks like it's a on-use buff that you can hit every so often and get a boost to damage. But it looks like also you can chain your Baul weapons with the ability you get from the 2-piece set. So another way to boost some damage that way. Anyway, as I derailed where we were going.
That's okay. The next set's yours anyway. You're good.
So then we have the Phoenix prize packs. If you can't remember how to get that, you typically have to have a Phoenix prize token to open up the store. I don't have one on me, but to open it up and show you stuff. You have obviously there's the Domino console. Comes from the Bajoran Denorius class interceptor. Everyone just always calls it the Bajoran Interceptor. The Domino console is a very nice one. It's not anti-proton specific. Same with the console Universal Voth Phase Decoy, and same with also the Crystalline Absorption Matrix. So you need an epic prize token if you want to get the Bajoran Interceptor. You need a very rare to get the Voth Phase Decoy, and just a rare to get the Crystalline Absorption Matrix.
Yeah, I've got those consoles, so I can show these off real quick. I don't have the Domino on this character, but I do have the other two. So there's the Voth Phase Decoy, straight bonus to Anti-Proton, hull capacity. And then the other one was the Crystalline. There it is. Crystalline Absorption Matrix. Again, a flat bonus to Anti-Proton damage and energy damage resistance. So those are both handy to have.
See, I do have the Domino console, and as you can see, it says plus 15% phaser damage on it, but it's because of its other ability. It is such a good ability to have that even though I am running a Disruptor build, I still have the Domino console, even with its plus 15% phaser damage. So
yeah, it's almost that console's almost considered part of the meta. If it was easier to get, I'm sure it would be.
I mean, it was part of an event ship, but you know, now you can get it from the Phoenix store.
Right. I'm kind of sorry I missed that event ship, but you know, is what it is. All right, so that was the Phoenix prize pack. Over at the fleet, at the starbase, you can get advanced fleet anti-proton weapons. There's a variety there, so you can kind of pick and choose your poison. You can also get, at the colony, the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector, which I'm using right there. It's one of the best deflectors in the game. Highly recommended, part of the meta. And over at the Spire, you can get the Tactical Vulnerability Locators or Exploiters. I prefer to use the Locators. These increase your crit chance. The Exploiters increase your crit severity, so again, you can pick your poison. As you can see here, I only have 2 of them. My goal is eventually to have 5 of them on this ship, or on this character. Currently, I'm filling in with the mag regulators until I can buy 2 more of those. But at epic quality there, it's almost a 40% boost to anti-proton damage and a 1.7 crit chance, and those do stack, so the more you load up, the higher your damage is going to be. And then at the lockbox, so I did find some things in the lockbox here that you'd probably be interested in. Some of these you can get off the exchange. Let's see, the first one, there it is. So the first one is a universal console from the Angel's Wake lockbox. This is going to be the Temporal Anomaly Projector right there. Adds to physical damage, anti-proton damage, radiation damage, and shield regen. And then the Angel Wake's lockbox is also where you get the standard Baul anti-proton weapons. These have a bright orange, orangish red color to them. I really like them. I think they look pretty cool. So that's my weapon go-to for the moment until I find set pieces that I want to use. In the Herald lockbox, you can find the other console down here I was looking at, the Polymorphic Probe Array. This is again a straight boost to anti-proton damage and control expertise. And then in the Herald lockbox, you can also get Herald anti-proton weapons, which are purple in color. The other 3 lockboxes that I'm going to mention, these are all just different anti-proton weapon variants. Mostly they're color differences. Some of them do have a different proc. There's the Delphic weapons in the Sphere Builder lockbox. The Undine lockbox offers fluidic anti-proton weapons, which are yellow. Delphic are blue, I believe. Fluidic are yellow. And then the Voth lockbox offers Voth anti-proton weapons. Those are, again, an orangish red in color, but the visual is different. And it's kind of hard to describe the way it looks. It's like there's a tunnel surrounding the beam when it fires. It's a little weird. They're kind of cool, though.
Event items.
The planet killers have been revealed.
Yes,
So-
but I don't see anything written down under that. But go ahead.
There is a console called Universal. It's an aligned anti-proton. It gives you plus anti-proton damage and plus shield capacity. It came from the Khitomer Alliance battlecruiser, which was the 10th anniversary event ship. They haven't made a way for us to acquire that ship yet, outside of the 10th anniversary. That is typically, they either go to the Muds Market or the Phoenix Prize Pack. So we just have to wait for that to come back for those that missed the event. It does also have a usability plus energy weapon haste and plus shield cap and regen. So if you have the Khitomer Alliance battlecruiser, you probably want to look at that console. Another event ship is from the Tamir Alliance Raider, which is this last 11-year anniversary. It gives you also plus anti-proton damage. Yeah, it's called the Alliance Tactics, or Console Universal Alliance Tactics, so definitely worth looking into.
That one's also got an activated ability called the Aligned Bombardment, which is heavy anti-proton damage, and then leaves a lasting damage buff for a few seconds. And that's the ship I'm flying right now, for those who are interested, the Alliance Tamir Raider. That's this ship right here. It's actually my favorite Raider in the game. I really like this ship.
But
I wish it was pilot. The only thing that would make this better is if it had pilot maneuvers.
Like I said, with those two ships, since they were event ships, if you missed them, you're going to have to wait for them to basically be added back into the game and in another form to acquire. The Bajoran Interceptor, which is on the Phoenix Prize Pack, was an anniversary event ship, so it's now a Phoenix ship. So typically they seem to add them the anniversary event ships into the Phoenix Prize Pack. Though they do like to add some of the like lockbox ships to the Mud Market. I mean, it could go to the Mud Market instead, but yeah. My guess is Phoenix Prize Pack.
Probably. I would prefer Muds. I mean, I have them anyway because I did the event, but with Muds, you know, you can make it an account unlock versus the Phoenix, which is per character. But still, it'd be better than nothing. Okay, and then traits. Once again, as with all our energy builds, there are no traits that are energy specific. So your traits don't really care about the weapon types or the damage types. They care more about firing modes and whatnot. So build according to taste. This got brought up in a Facebook group that I'm a part of. As far as energy weapon types go, it's still recommended that you pick one energy type and flow with that, and then you can use all the consoles to boost said energy type, as opposed to using the console that only boosts a weapon type. Like, you can get a console that just boosts beams, but typically the damage potential is way less than a specific energy type, which is why we've been doing this series of energy types, just trying to help people out.
So pick one flavor of snow cone and stick to it, I guess, is what...
Kablooey, and that almost took me out with it.
Return to the staging area. We must prepare for the Voth.
Return to the staging area.
Yeah, over here in the little glow point. Okay, so, you know, it's funny. We did phasers first, followed by disruptor, and those episodes very nearly ran over time. Here we are doing anti-proton, and we're out of stuff to talk about 30 minutes early. So you'll get to see my anti-proton build here in action for a little bit. I'd like to point out that this is an ongoing build. This is an alt character of mine. Actually, he's Talaxian. Nixim is his name. Kind of a fun dude. But this was my original Delta recruit when they did it way back in the day.
Back in the yield time, the first wave.
Yeah, the first wave.
Oh wait, no, that's Delta. They didn't have waves. Not
right.
Not like,
not like the Gammas.
Yeah.
But he's been a fun character. I just don't play him a whole lot, unfortunately, which is why the reputations were down. I would have flipped over and done this show on Katis like I normally do, but he's never really had an anti-proton build, so it was just easier to pull up the guy that I've been doing anti-proton with anyway, and kind of show you guys off. Plus, it's probably a good idea for me to play this character from, you know, time to time.
Well, when I created that science captain and doing the tutorial, I learned how much fun on ground science can be. I just dotted them up and watched them melt.
Well, as we saw in our PvP episode last week, we had a science build that was kicking all our butts in space.
Science can be pretty potent. I was like, any captain built properly, it can be really potent.
True that. The Anti-Proton, when the game first launched, Anti-Proton was widely considered to be the best weapons in the game. The reason for that is all the other weapon types had a proc. It was a 2.5% chance. I gotta get away from this thing before it takes me out when it explodes. There we go. Where Anti-Proton did not. Anti-Proton instead had a flat boost to crit severity, 20% actually. You can still find those weapons. Those are the basic Anti-Proton. And in a lot of ways, those are still among the best weapons in the game for that reason. However, as we just went through, Anti-Proton no longer has the top amounts of support. The number of consoles and sets that you can get for Anti-Proton are very limited. So in general, it's better to go with Phaser or Disruptor just because those weapon types have the most support. But it's also a good idea to have the other weapon types on standby, either on alternate characters like I do, or just have weapon sets that you put aside in the bank or whatever for when needed, because of the endeavors. Occasionally you'll have an endeavor that wants you to do X type of damage, or X amount of X type of damage. And for me, it's just easier to pop over onto an alt character and go blow things up for a little bit. How do you do it, Grebog?
That's the way I've been trying to work towards. I haven't gotten all the types built yet. That's kind of why I wanted to do like this set of series of the different weapon types, so that way it'll help me figure out what I need to do to get my other captains that I'm setting up to be, like Tetrion, Plasma, Anti-Proton, you know.
I just blowed up.
Why'd you do that?
Because I'm still using the not Tilly shields like I should be. I'm using the revolutionary shields, and they just go down too fast.
They great for leveling, don't scale at max level so well.
Yeah, I gotta get my rep up still. As soon as Discovery reaches tier 4, I'll have the Tilly shields on this guy. In the meantime,
does anyone have questions while we are
Just kind of dinking around.
Chit-chatting, you know. But, well, here, well, we can talk the fleet stuff. What we are doing in the fleet. For those of you might have noticed, I have added in on the colony, I added in our station personnel officer. This will allow us, as we unlock the new bridge officers, the ability to actually purchase the bridge officers. I went ahead and tagged that in because we're going to need them sooner than later. So I think don't we already have the Nukara bridge officer, or is that coming soon?
I don't think we have him yet.
Because we're getting really close. Because morale is almost there. It looks like after the now 2 projects that are queued up, the one that's current and the one after it, we will be over the required, so we can do morale tier 4, which should unlock us the Nukara bridge officer. Which then means once we get this guy at our colony, we will then be able to buy the Nukara bridge officers if you want them. We do need to pick up some bridge officers to donate. You can buy them off the exchange, or you can, there's always all kinds of ways to get a hold of them. But some of us may have tons of them.
If you have extra fleet marks or fleet credits, you can actually buy some bridge officers from the fleet stores and donate those guys. It will you'll end up at a loss of fleet credits. You'll use some to buy these officers, and then you gain some when you turn them in, but your gains will be much less than what you buy them for. But still, it's a way you can pump those out if you really need to.
Yeah, I kind of wish, like, I have some bridge officer candidates. I kind of wish there was a way I could turn them in for the fleet projects. But they just sit here as the, hey, you have, yeah. Well, yeah, and Kramer, you're probably going through the same thing I do, because you have 8 bridge officer candidates. Unfortunately, I think you need to have them as an item, and I don't know of a way to, unless I can I do this?
What it wants you to donate are duty officers, not bridge officers.
This one wants bridge officers.
Does it really?
Yes.
Ooh. Where's this at?
It's the Colony World Special Projects.
Oh, so it does. Bridge officer candidate. All right then. Well, how do we?
That's what I was just saying. If it has to be an item in your inventory. It cannot be in your, hey, you have 8 bridge officer candidates. I just tried to drag one into my inventory to see if it would let me. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because, boy, would I love to get rid, I have 8 of them here that I'll say 7 of them I'm not going to ever use. So I probably could just dismiss them, but I can't drag them into my inventory. There are some that you can buy from vendors, so you can, here, let me go to like Soul. And you can drag officers from the queue into an email. Oh. So that's how I might be able to convert them into a item. It's worth knowing. Because I know you can't just drag them into your inventory.
Oh, have to be at the mail terminal. Okay, because I'm trying to do it in space and it's not working. I'm glad Corsair's paying attention.
That's why I'm going to Soul. So yeah, if you're mailing stuff, if you have physical item, well, I guess not really physical. If you have an item that you're trying to send, whether it be, I guess, a bridge officer, duty officer, something that's not account bound, you have to come to a terminal, one of the mail terminals, to send and receive. So here I will just send it to one of my alts.
Can you just pull it back out? Or do you have to send it to another character?
I figured it might be easier to send to an alt. Though it should show up. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it somehow flipped over to fleet.
Ah, there we go.
There, yeah.
Okay.
See, so here's a tip from Corsair we can thank on how to create an item. So if I hit send, even though it technically went to my alt, they're right here. Now, I now have items in my inventory. Not
that you can.
Not now, buddy. I'm gonna donate you. I should have items. Yeah, I have items. What? Why is this? Why is this not working? Oh, they have to be human. They have to be human.
Okay, so it would work if we had the right types.
Yes. I do have one human officer. I guess here we'll just... I don't know. I don't
human,
need you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I'll just turn these people into manuals, whatever.
Yeah, that's the other thing you can do with them. If you have a bunch of them, you can turn them into manuals to either sell on the exchange or give those to other characters. Other bridge officers. That's what I'm thinking of.
Everyone needs more manuals. Okay, so here, I'll get on to access the mail, send, receive. I'm going to do another compose.
Yeah, that's really interesting that they didn't make that any easier. Like, I just bought 4 of them off the exchange, and it didn't go to my inventory. They went immediately into my candidates box.
It's fine. There is apparently a workaround that Corsair has taught us.
Yeah. Good to know. That's kind of an interesting overlook for the game, though. Yet another bug, I guess.
I don't know if I want to call it a bug. And this now it's not. It's like now it's not.
It just seems like that's a weird extra step to take for what amounts to very little gain, ultimately. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll go ahead and end it here for the day. I'll look into this again later, and maybe at the beginning of our next episode, we can discuss a little bit more about how to turn in these bridge officers. There may be an easier way, but I'll see what I can come up with. Next week, since it's still too early for the Summer of Love event for AIE, we're going to go to a call to arms TFOs. We'll hit some TFOs that we haven't previously done, and kind of go over how to do them. and talk about the optional objectives and so on and so forth.
Okay, it's something to note, Corsair. He made a comment. He's like, he can't donate the moss. Do note that it says common tactical. So they have to be of the white quality, not the blue, not green, or well, maybe green is. Let's see here.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. Well, I'll approach it at the beginning of the next episode. We can try to figure that out, because there may be something online about how to do that or what we're not doing to get that done.
It does have to be common quality, so that is definitely worth noting.
Interesting. All right. Well, as always, guys, I will leave you with the words of Q. See you out there.
Live long and prosper. Don't get any trouble.